Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. We've got a new leftist conspiracy to absolutely obliterate today. Well, maybe not a new leftist conspiracy, more a revived leftist conspiracy. You know, it's like I always say, you could tell just how hard the left is panicking based on their rhetoric going into an election season. You know, it's kind of like this mounting effect. It starts off with Trump's a con man, Trump can't be trusted, abortion and SCOTUS picks. You know, it starts off relatively light and somewhat based on policy. And slowly over time, it starts to morph and get more and more extreme the closer Donald Trump gets to a possible victory at the top of that damn podium. The closer we get there, it goes from Trump's a con man to Trump is literally Hitler. We saw this back in 2016, of course, where they told us that Trump was literally Hitler, or possibly a combination between Hitler and Mussolini. Many people, of course, totally buying that bogus narrative and making it essentially their worldview, or I'd argue making it their new personality. There's nothing better for someone completely void of charisma and personality than becoming an anti-Trumper. All of a sudden you become popular and start making friends for the first time in your life. But anyways, let's try to stick to the topic. You know, leftists are getting desperate, because here we go again. Donald Trump, evil orange man, is literally Hitler. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright friends, so Donald Trump recently referred to far leftist anarchists, mainly I think he was referring to Antifa types, as quote, vermin.
In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, that lie and steal and cheat on elections and will do anything possible. They'll do anything, whether legally or illegally, to destroy America and to destroy the American dream.
Yeah, so pretty much par for the course, typical Trump rhetoric, and I'd say he made it quite clear who he was speaking about, specifically communists, far-left radicals. He labeled them as vermin, and well, the media, you guessed it.
Of course, it's Trump is a Nazi time again.
Let's deal with Hitler, okay?
I don't think it's hyperbolic to say that. I mean, that is Mussolini, Hitler-like language.
Trump's affinity for Hitler was always covered under an umbrella of his stupidity.
Echoing Hitler's words.
Listen to this. Well, Hitler was duly elected.
That's right. Echoing the hateful rhetoric of Adolf Hitler.
That echoes Hitler.
That's the kind of language Hitler used in Mein Kampf.
About vermin and Hitler and Mussolini.
That's a horrifying clip. That's a fascist clip.
Just going full on Hitler.
It's from Hitler's Germany.
We just need to say, for the record, that the term vermin was really effectively used by Adolf Hitler.
It's the worst thing to ever happen. It's the worst thing for any president to ever say. Oh, you know, George Bush lied about weapons of mass destruction, no biggie. Joe Biden called half the country evil MAGA extremists who are a threat, the greatest threat to the American homeland. Oh, not a big deal at all. Hillary Clinton called Trump supporters deplorables who are essentially hopeless. No big deal. Trump accurately labels far-left domestic extremists as vermin who have infiltrated the Democrat Party. You know, he's talking about communists, the worst kind of vermin. You know, the same people who have been looting, pillaging, burning, the same kind of people who have been pushing for censorship and assaulting random elderly people and just really anybody with a Trump flag or a Trump hat merely existing at a protest or a Trump rally. You know, those people, he's accurately describing them based on their actions and worldviews. Oh, he's the worst. He's basically Hitler. It's all part of his evil plan to install himself as a dictator. You gotta be on crack. Like, you literally need to be smoking meth or on crack to watch NBC or really any of these leftist shows and agree with this stuff or accept it as, you know, part of your worldview reality. What are they even going on about? Trump used a term, an accurate term to describe a group of people who are literal domestic terrorists and I'd argue enemies of the nation in a way. I mean, communism in a way is the enemy. There's literally a federal law that makes it illegal to be part of or to start a communist political party. Being a communist is literally illegal in the United States. And with good reason. I mean, communism and its ideals and its policies and practice has led to loss of life in the tens of millions. Some people even argue over 100 million people have been lost, tragically, due to starvation and oppression throughout the history of communist regimes. And here goes the media trying to convince me that I'm supposed to be outraged that Donald Trump said what he said. No, I'm not outraged at all. In fact, I'm more convinced that he's the right man for the job. But then, of course, it's not really about the word, as they say, right? It's about what it symbolizes. Donald Trump's love for all things dictatorial, for all things tyrannical, right? Donald Trump loves authoritarians, is what they keep telling us. He's mimicking them because he wants to install himself as a dictator. You know, another thing, another little piece of rhetoric, little slimy leftist rhetoric that is unabsorbable intellectually. I can't absorb it into my brain, into my being, unless I'm smoking meth or smoking crack. In what universe can Donald Trump install himself as a dictator? You know, they keep saying it, but it's literally impossible. It would never happen, and his own voters probably wouldn't even support it. Yeah, of course, there is an element of MAGA cultism that I won't deny, that probably would enjoy Donald Trump as king, but the vast majority of people who support Donald Trump don't support him purely because he's a cult-like figure that they absolutely adore. They like him because of the ideas, because of the policies. Conservatives are not these far-lost, radical MAGA extremists who have let go of American democracy and the republic as we know it. That never happened, and there are way too many checks and balances that would get in the way of Donald Trump ever possibly attempting to install himself as dictator. Literally everybody knows this. And again, Trump was president recently. We know exactly who he is. Trump has done more to uphold the Constitution than any president in modern American history, especially with his 3 solid constitutional scholar picks, his 3 key contributions to the Supreme Court, nominating incredible figures like Justice Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Neil Gorsuch. You know, the idea is just ridiculous. It's not gonna happen. It's crazy that it's even somewhat accepted political rhetoric within the arena. It makes absolutely no sense. You know, you watch that clip that I played earlier, that montage, and if you have 2 working brain cells, you know, a head on your shoulder, you know that that is insane. Like, that is legitimate craziness. Those people, those talking heads on MSNBC, sound like the crazed hobo at the street corner in Los Angeles warning about the aliens and the coming apocalypse. You can't take that stuff seriously. I mean, Rachel Maddow is essentially the crackhead at the street corner warning us about the evil orange Glorf man and his plans to install himself as dictator. You're crazy. Like, literally crazy. There's only a couple people who can listen to rhetoric like that and agree, and those types of people are the Keith Olbermanns of the world. Regular folk know that it's completely detached from reality. Donald Trump's comments are not a call to Mussolini or Adolf Hitler. His comments were accurate. His comments were true. Leftist politicians have said much worse, much worse about MAGA voters and individuals present on January 6th. Anyways, not much else that really needs to be said here. The media circus continues. The leftist fear-mongering insanity, the faux outrage clickbait nonsense continues. I prefer to live in the real world. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you on the next one.